said he was going to do that.
He said he.
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, do we have some booms today. George Soros, RICO, oh my gosh. There's only 39 posts with George Soros, and there's only 10 with GS. Holy moly. I'm sure Q never talked about it. Yes, we got more. So, really quick, Shady, let me bring you in really quick, because we've got prayer requests going on right now that we need to fulfill. We need all the prayer warriors to pray for You See Nothing today, as he's going under a major surgery, guys, and he needs prayers and guide that surgeon with a hand of God, his hand, and just please let's pray for our friend and family member, essentially. You see nothing, Shady.
Thank you for saying that, sir. That's exactly what I was. That's the exact sentiment that I was wanting to start off with today for all of you out there that don't really know. Maybe you've not been with us for a long time. You See Nothing is part of the great atmosphere that we've created here at the MG Show. Really a cornerstone of that, and we love him very, very much. And he is an amazing human being, and he's got this. And there's no stopping him after it's over either. And he's going to get be a lot better after this is over. So God bless him. Please, prayer warriors, we need you on the wall for the next few hours, pretty intensely, if you could. It's a big deal. It's not just something little.
And he is definitely nervous. His first name is James, and the coordinates are near Dallas, Texas, guys, okay? Yep. For those prayer warriors that want to have a name and a location. God bless you, James. We're with you. Fight, 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 and fight you will. And we'll hear in about 4 or 5 hours how it went. It starts probably in about 22 minutes, okay? So please, prayers up.
Thank you, Jeff.
I called him last night too, and just wanted to keep it light and jovial.
Yep, and everything's good. Everything is really good. Like it's a weird situation, and all of us have little things that are going on with us that we need to address at some point or another. This is a pretty big invasive deal, and it's outside of the box of something that would be normal. So
Land of Hoya says, Father, guide his surgeons. Amen.
Yep.
Prayers for James, Joe Kalupa. Thank you. Godspeed to you, James from Dallas. Cram, thank you. It's going to be good, says Dux. Q Shaw, prayers sent. Thank you. Liberty Warrior, thank you. Dux says, God hears. Thank you. You guys are amazing, guys. And I appreciate each and every one of you as well. Thank you.
Yes.
So what is the common theme when bad news is about to break against them?
It's school shootings, church shootings, some type of shooting.
So let's read this. This is at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. George Soros and his wonderful radical left son should be charged with RICO because of their support of violent protests and much more. All throughout the United States of America, we're not going to allow these lunatics to rip apart America anymore, giving it so much as a chance to breathe. Remember the I Can't Breathe guy, Shady? Remember?
Yes, sir.
What's that guy's name? George. What was his name? George. I can't breathe. Why can't I remember his name? You got Chad will help me out. George Floyd. Thank you.
Yeah, Floyd. Oh my
and
God.
remember, Obama was connected to that as well. Okay, the banner was up before George Floyd died. A guy looked just like Floyd. Imagine that. And be free. Okay, Soros and his group of psychopaths have caused great damage to our country. That includes his crazy West Coast friends. Be careful. We're watching you. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, Shady Group, pretty amazing.
Yeah.
This is, let's just, what is the common theme when bad news is about to break against them? So just literally at 10:01, there was a shooting, active shooter, gunned down 20 people at a Minneapolis Catholic church. Okay. That's 10:01. So that was literally less than an hour and a half, Shady. And that was it, an hour and 16 minutes, we figured?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
15 minutes, 16 minutes, 14 minutes. I'm sure Q never posted about. Oh, wait, there's 39 posts with Soros and 10 posts with GS. Okay, we'll go over some of those. But they're all connected, okay? Every single one. There's George Soros right there, okay? They are all connected. Don't let them fool you. They're all connected, okay? And we're going to read some of those posts today, Shady Groove. We're going to talk about George Soros. I might wait to do that because you might be heading out of here in a little bit, my friend.
Yes, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a short day today, guys. Pretty cool
half
schedule
day.
that I get to. Yeah, a little half day. I'm not going to make it to half day. I'm so sorry, like a quarter day. But I want to pass along a number of different things to the audience, if I could, real quick. I'd like to number one, I'd like to say how thankful that I am for the opportunity to be here and what it is that we're doing at this show, at the MG show, and talking about everything that's getting ready to happen in the future. We have organized what we're doing here in a future proves past model. We feel like that is what Q was suggesting to understand how these things were going to happen. You can't say that anything is true if you can't prove it. Okay. Yeah. And so what the two of us have done is we've tried to do our dead level best to bring to you the information that we can prove and how it connects with what's going on. Within doing that, we've been able to weed out a huge amount of the psychological operations, and the people that were behind them were unfortunately people that we once admired. And so thank you guys all so much for the journey that we've been on, because right now today, I feel like we are really like stepping through the door of the future proves past moment that we have all been waiting for. And it's not necessarily about getting, and I was saying this earlier, it's not necessarily about getting a head on a stake. And I want to temper everybody's expectations with that. Getting people's head on a stake isn't as important as them not being an influence within our government anymore. And there's a conspiracy that has been working to undermine the American way of life for over 100 years that we talk about on this show in depth all the time. Yeah. If we can end that conspiracy, think about what life might be in the future. All of these other people, like the Alex Joneses of the world and the Roger Stones and these people, they are addicted to attention. So they just make stuff up out of thin air so that they can get attention and they can get clicks. Okay. Yeah. That will not survive in the future of a transparent government, because none of those narratives that they try to attach could take hold, because like we were showing you last week, you're not trying to grab onto a thorn bush as you're falling, because you're no longer falling. That's the stability that I think that America is looking for. And I think that that's the stability, Jeff, that in the end ultimately unites all of us around the common theme that is America first.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what we're after here, guys.
Yes, it is.
And, so you have this, right? George Soros has done a lot of things. He manipulates monetary prices. Okay. That's how he made all of his money in the UK. He bet against the pound. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then he tore it down with his, philanthropy. And people don't realize that he could be the silent thief. And I want to give a hat tip here. Let me just make sure, believe it or not, there is one post at 8:45 a.m., which is the timestamp or 8:45, and it talks about the silent thieves, Shady. Okay. So there was a post that was posted at 8:45 a.m. Okay, so we understand that. Let me see if I can get to it here. Let's see, where is it? Oh, I just had it. Man, they're all connected. Is it under here? No. Is it under here? Let me see. Here it is. So this is George Soros, and this is actually from Red Pill Pusher. I thought this was a good catch. George Soros. Okay, 8:45 a.m. So George Soros, how are they stealing your wealth? What is inflation? Monetary manipulation, taxation without representation. Put an end to the endless 1930. So who are the silent thieves? Okay. This is a report. Investor who manipulated the press is matched only on his ability to manipulate his financial empire. George Soros' greatest gains, however, have been destabilizing currency on the global market. Time and time again. When the nation is in a monetary crisis, Soros is there to give the currency the last nudge and then profits as it plummets. You see, he is a silent thief. Okay. Very good catch right there.
So effectively, what you have here is you have people that are rigging the system, have a system where they can bet against the system. So they know the system is going to fail. This happened in 1929 in America, and they call it the Great Depression. That's the model. Okay. And so that model that they utilized in America that long ago, that is also the model that they use within these military injected coups that they run on different nations. So there is a synchronicity that occurs with the people like George Soros and what he is doing within a monetary system, and him knowing what's going to happen ahead of time, much like what Nancy Pelosi is doing in her stock trading, right?
Yeah.
They have an insight, so they bet against it.
Yeah. Red Pill's in here. He says, thank you. Great catch. That was a great catch. I loved it. I think it's amazing. I just posted it as well. All right. So we've got that. We've got that happening, Shady Groove. We got the 39 posts, and we got 10 with just GS. We've got that picture with George Soros and Obama and everybody else. Breathe. Okay. Breathe. He's telling you that, remember, Q posted the actual George Floyd picture of Obama before George Floyd was murdered, guys.
That's
or
right.
overdosed, I should say. Yep. George Floyd was overdosing. Okay. He overdosed.
And they had the graphic about him that they were going to virtue signal with before the overdose occurred, and we proved that to you.
That's right. Mary81 gifted 1 subscription to the MG Show, and thank you, Real Iron Eagle. I saw you $17 as well. Appreciate it. But this is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with, Shady. These people are dangerous. Okay. Within less than an hour and hour and a half, an hour and 15, 16, whatever minutes, there's a shooting in Minneapolis. Where are the Democrats right now?
Yeah.
They're all in Minneapolis.
Yep.
With their little summer getaway. Yep. And, there's also a huge Q proof that I don't think people really caught on to yesterday. And I'm going to go into that real quick, Shady, because it's funny. When I do Q proofs, nobody ever reposts them. I mean, I get nothing anymore.
I know.
Okay.
I'm watching it, man.
It's insane.
Because the algorithm is throwing you out.
Yeah.
Like every time you're making a post about something related to Q, the algorithm is like somehow throwing you out of the feed, and nobody is seeing your post. Like I have to go there to do it. Like if you guys want to see our post, you're going to have to go to Twitter and create a list and put us on the list so that you will see our post and go look at them, because no one is. We're being canceled by both sides. Everybody, it's like we're speaking up for you. If we don't have you to help us, we got nobody.
Yep. So let's just watch the video, because President Trump did, in fact, do the whole segment, and we'll watch the whole segment as well. But I want to point you to the latter part of this segment and Jesse Waters, okay? Check it out.
The new box that they've fallen into is crime. There was a consultant on one of the shows this morning I was watching. I thought he was very good. He's a Democrat consultant. And he was screaming, no, don't let him do this to you. It's another trap. It's another trap. This guy's screaming, it's another trap. And this is the worst of all. He said, because this is crime. Trump is saying he's against crime and they're for crime.
I love that guy, JD. I had to do that guy. That's a trap, guys, okay? So how do you get out of that? So even Democrats, I'm sorry to say, Democrats don't want crime on their streets either, okay? Neither does Republicans. This crosses party lines in a sense, okay? So You know, these people are stupid. Censorship with no consequences. Okay. They're censoring me, showing you that this is, that this is part of Trump's and Q's vision of saving America. Okay. And how do you set a trap? Okay. You say, hey, let's stop crime. And then like, no, we need crime. We need to protect MS-13 and Trendagua and all the other bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. So open the door and we shall always walk through and take control. Q. That is a Q proof, guys. Traps set. There's also posts with that. President Trump had to go ahead and go with the trap set one, Shady. It was talking about the medical community would go against Donald Trump if he didn't comply. Okay. They took power away from him during COVID, in my opinion. That was their devolution. And it didn't work because we all know that President Trump talked about ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. We know that he said there's a lot of people that won't take the virus and it shouldn't be a mandate. It should be a choice. Okay, that choice is yours. And that's what people seem to forget. And who's the one that actually mandated the vaccine, Shady?
That would be Biden.
That would be Biden. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting too, Jeff, because I think you made a very critical point right at the beginning of what you said there, because you said that Democrats don't like crime.
Right.
You're exactly right. The Democrats don't like crime, but you know what? Democrat politicians love it. No Democrat politician is speaking up for the Democrats that don't like crime. So now all the Democrats that are sitting there in their cities looking around saying, wait a minute, my city is inundated with crime. My area is inundated with crime. Nobody is willing to do 3 seconds worth of work about it. And you're telling me Donald Trump has cleaned up D.C. and there's no murders? You mean we have the ability to not have crime? It's not just because they can't control it. It's not just because they're too dumb, lazy, or stupid. Wait a minute. And they start to think. So you're exactly right. Democrats don't like crime, but Democrat politicians do. Right now, Democrats are learning that, and it's going to take them a second, but they are catching up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny. So, all right. So somebody said Tron is linking Ed Martin to Columbo. It's because Flynn did. Okay. He said, I love that Columbo look. So here again, let's just reiterate. Here we have a pesky Q proof of setting a trap. 8/27/25, the cabinet meeting, and President Trump also posted the full segment of Jesse Waters. But at the end, he talks about Dems walk into Trump's trap. These people are stupid. Censorship with no consequences. How do you set a trap? Open the door, and we shall always walk through and take control. Q. I mean, that's huge.
Man, it is, because look, think about that. Whenever Q talked about game theory, what is the best part of game theory? Put them in a situation where they will always do the opposite of what you do. They hate Trump so bad that no matter what he says, that they're going to double down on the opposite. So Trump says, I'm going to stop crime. They're like, no, we got to have more crime. It's crazy how you can predict most people wouldn't logically believe that they would actually fall for this.
Yeah. Yeah. And Hans-Jorg, I'm sorry, buddy, but Hans-Jorg Wies is in chat.
Oh, hey, Hans.
But Hans-Jorg, your buddy Bill Gates, your other foreign, so you're a foreign billionaire, but this is the domestic billionaire. Bill Gates, Shady Groove, is cutting ties with Arabella Advisors, guys. The consulting firm closely linked to the Democrats. The $77 billion Gates Foundation has decided to stop making grants to nonprofit funds administered by Arabella Advisors, guys. Wow. President Trump, what did he say about it, guys? You guys remember this?
I do.
The 1630 Fund, which is managed by Arabella Advisors, which is the largest Democrat dark money network in the country and considered public enemy number one.
Wow. This show right here, ready? 4 years now, Shady, we've been talking about this. It's coming up on 5.
I think it is 2021, right? So it's 4 right now, 4 years,
4.
I think. Yeah.
We started in August.
4 years since we broke this story about Arabella Advisors, and here we are now with Bill Gates cutting ties. I think the reason that Bill Gates is cutting ties is because of all the bad press that Arabella is getting. Now, but the thing is, people like Dana Perino, they're talking on the 5, and they're mentioning dark money.
Yep.
Nobody explains to anybody what dark money even is. 80% of the population wouldn't know for 3 seconds how this all works, whenever it's one of the most corrupt things we could possibly imagine, considering the legislation and the actual law involving 501c4s and 501c3s and how it can and can't be used for politics.
Yeah. And you know who else has a Arabella style foundation?
Flynn.
Oh, let's check. Let's go to the tape.
I really like the research that you guys have been doing on Arabella. We actually started the America Project. When you started coming out with that, I was like, Jeff and Shady are right on this, because when we started the America Project, when we sat around and we kind of whiteboarded what did we want, guess what our model was? Arabella.
It was Arabella. Yeah.
We saw Arabella and we saw what the left is doing, and we saw how sophisticated that network of funding was. And we said, God, there's nothing like that on the right. There's nothing like that that's promoting and supporting pro-freedom organization at the ground.
All right, so let me just leave it there, because they raised a lot of money from you, from me, from everybody else. But this is a dark money nonprofit headed by former General Flynn, who spent a lot, and they spend a large sums of money on the Flim Flam family, promoting election-related issues, yet nothing ever got done, guys. Nothing ever got done. Why is that?
Why is that? That's a great question. Why is that? Why would you utilize a corrupt Democrat organization that brings in dark money through 501c4s as your organization to bring in dark money and brag about it? And then we all just sit there in this state of like, so enamored with their processes that we're not even thinking clearly to understand that you're doing exactly the same thing that they're doing.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm waiting to see, guys, keep an eye out to see. I want to just real quick go over this, Shady, before you go, too, because this is interesting. This is President Trump at 10:47 a.m. I have been fully briefed on the tragic shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The FBI quickly responded, and they are on the scene. The White House will continue to monitor this terrible situation. Please join me in praying for everyone involved, okay? But it goes to this post, 10:47, Shady.
This is crazy.
This is crazy. 10:47 a.m., 10:47 a.m., 10:47 post. Normies don't give a crap if he's Muslim. With a gun, they won't care. The important point is Hussein is aiming a gun at. Is who Hussein is aiming a gun at. Red, white, and blue. Spray. Now, a lot of these articles are saying that he opened the door and started spraying bullets.
Yeah, or spraying from the outside or something through the windows from
Through
the
the
outside,
window.
just spraying bullets into the church.
Spraying.
And
They use the term spray, guys.
in the news articles.
Yeah. So we'll have to find out who this guy is. Obama equals Hussein, but Hussein also equals Muslim. Okay.
Mhm.
You know, multiple meanings exist. So let's see. I'm waiting to see if this is a huge Q proof with the timestamp. I want to see who actually is the victim that they shot. He was wearing all black. That's all I've heard of so far.
And like
Go
you
ahead.
said, there's this big Democrat, like there's a bunch of them there, like they're doing whatever. They're in that, like, is it in Minneapolis specifically?
What's that? What said he first sprayed pepper spray. Wow.
And Trump literally hit a Q post that says the word spray in the post, guys. That's not a joke. We're not making that up.
And the important is who Hussein is aiming the gun at. Who is he aiming the gun at? Kids.
Us.
Wow.
Who are they all been targeting? You know, all of this stuff. You know, a quick point I'd like to make about the whole, that connects to this is the burning the flag thing. I just want to make sure you guys are connected to this. Burning the flag thing is a George Soros operation, and it has been like for years and years and years. They've been pushing this agenda going way back to the late 90s and early 2000s of burning the flag. What the argument they're making is about this is a quote unquote loophole that these protesters that they're using the foreign money to shove into their pockets. You pay somebody enough, they'll do anything. They'll burn an American flag. So now you're basically saying to all these people out there that are like, oh, this is part of my free speech and I should be able to burn a flag if I want to. I'm seeing it on the conservative side too. These people don't have enough information to understand what Donald Trump is actually trying to tell you. He's telling you that this is not some sort of a protest to America that they're burning the American flag. He's telling you that this is an act to incite a riot by people that are being funded by foreign interests as infiltration and to make it seem like these people are against you or to make it seem like they're somehow standing up against America. That's fake, phony, and false. That is not freedom of speech, guys. I don't care which way you want to slice it up and pretend. That is not freedom of speech.
Minneapolis shooting, 8-year-old and 10-year-old killed, 17 others hurt at Catholic school. An 8-year-old and a 10-year-old were shot, killed with gunmen fired shots through the window of a church. Wednesday morning, 17 others, including 14 children, were injured during the shooting during a mass that marked the first week of school. 2 children are in critical position. Pray, guys. The gunman died on the scene from self-inflicted gun wound. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said the mass shooting unfolded just before 8:30 when the gunman approached the side of the building and fired the rifle through the church windows towards the children and other worshipers sitting in the pews. Dozens of rounds were fired, the chief said, calling it a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The gunman, described in the early 20s, was armed with a rifle and a shotgun, and a pistol, and the police believed he fired from all 3 weapons, the chief said. We are looking through the information left behind and trying to determine some type of motive. How about MK Ultra? These kids were literally praying, an emotional Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said at a news conference. It was the first week of school. They were in church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends and should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without fear of risk or violence. And their parents should have been have the same kind of assurances. This kind of act of evil should never happen, and it happens far too often. This is it. Students in pre-K to 8th grade attended the school. Young children wearing their uniforms were seen leaving the school holding their parents' hands.
Target the most innocent.
I'm praying for our kids and teachers this is Tim Walz, who needs to get the National Guard in this city. I mean, this is ridiculous. You can't handle it. You're now proven that you can't handle it. This needs to stop.
I'd like to, just to bring up the idea that what you're seeing is the targeting of the innocent intentionally, and that is constantly a theme from all of this infiltration. The infiltration that is going on around us is what is trying to turn the victim into the criminal and the criminal into the victim. They're trying to flip the world upside down and turn it around on you. They're going to target the most innocent. That's the reason that all this trans stuff is aimed at your children. They're targeting them to make them think that for some reason they need to separate from you. Therefore, they will go find another parent in their mind. Okay, yeah. This is the same exact type of thing. This is what they will always do. This is the reason that what Donald Trump is doing is so very important. And I'm telling you right now, as we move forward with this is going, these people do not go quietly. Okay. Yeah. You have to understand that the due diligence that we have to pay attention to, the people like Flynn and all these nuts, they're starting to realize that things aren't going their way too. At some point, these forces are going to join forces.
Yeah, and they are, essentially. I mean, look at the Gateway Pundit headline today.
Yes.
Going against Pam Bondi.
Yeah.
Real quick, Yeti just posted, multiple sources say that the Minnesota Catholic Church shooter is a self-identified transsexual in his early 20s who is a biological male.
Imagine that. See,
these drugs have got to be hurting people, guys.
Which is, along with that, look at the Q-proofs and talking about the drugs and the therapists and how they make these, like these people that will walk up with a firearm and fire on innocent children are groomed to do that. There's things wrong with some human beings out there, and whenever the therapist sees that this human being is messed up, they don't try to fix him. They manipulate him and try to turn him into a weapon, and you see that occurring over and over again. And then they go out and act like it's all there's nothing connected to psychological mental issues.
Yeah, and Christians are the target. Says what? That
is true.
Amen. And kids and you and I and, all of God's children.
Yeah. That's who they don't.
Wow. So that's heavy. Yeah. The innocent.
We're the innocent.
Yeah. Wow.
And we kind of always were.
Yeah. So we've got that. We've got a Q-proof with traps set. We got, Arabella Advisors that we've been talking about for 4 years, for crying out loud.
Literally.
And Trump even said public enemy number 1, yet nobody grabbed hold of that except this show.
Mm-hmm. Pretty
interesting.
It really is interesting because, like we said, we have that direct connection that you played of Joe Flynn and what he's saying. We created. Who even knew that existed? You have to be part of the system. Like Flynn and crew had to know that that was possible. Like between Patrick Byrne and General Flynn and Lynn Wood and Sidney Powell after the 2020 election, they probably raised $200 million.
Yeah. Real quick, Simba says, sorry, but marijuana is a drug too. Yes, but if you read the Illuminati formula of how they control a total brainwash mind control slave, okay, by Fritz Springmeier, marijuana is adverse to the mind control programming. That's why they made it a Class C drug.
It's interesting because it's the cannabinoids in it that connect with the human system. It's weird. I mean, it's very unusual how that it doesn't correlate with their mind control.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, guys. And you know, it's the antithesis of mind control, Simba, just so you know. I think it's very interesting. Yeah, Ivan the Terrible is at it again. Yep, he's going after, you know, we just had Donald J. Trump praising Pam Bondi yesterday. Couldn't sing her praises enough, and it wasn't fake, okay? Nope. It wasn't like, stay healthy, Mike. Nope. Yeah, she's in the cabinet, okay? And she's doing her job. They're mad because the J6 interview with the Proud Boys and all that stuff, the trials were good. That's what Pam Bondi is saying, basically, right?
Bro, just bringing that up was very interesting because about what he said. But let's think about that. Let's just focus on that for a second. Stay healthy, Mike. What does that mean? Like, look at now you got a little bit of forward. What did MG Show tell you? What did MG Show tell you that Donald Trump really meant whenever he said, "Oh, stay healthy, Mike"? Was he telling them to stay healthy so that he could bring him back into the next administration, like all the digital soldiers told you?
Yeah.
Because if he was telling him that for that reason, doesn't really seem like that's lining up with what's happening in reality, which tells me that when he told him to stay healthy, that he was telling him a different message, which is the message that we told you years ago.
Wow. Let me just add.
It's all part of the same thing, is the point we're making. The Flynn stuff that we're seeing is not separate from the Democrat stuff that we're seeing. If you pay attention close enough, you will see that the Flynn cult thinks exactly the same of Donald Trump as the Democrats do. They just try to hide it. They try to pretend like they're one of us. Like Ivan Ranklin and Roger Stone are trying to pretend like they are conservatives. These people don't have a conservative bone in their body and never did.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter. You know, these people are not in Trump's cabinet. They never really advised Trump. The media lied to you this whole time. It doesn't matter. You know, this movement, Shady, just like you're saying, this movement is Donald Trump, okay? And you and me and the people, okay? It's not their movement. It's your movement. It's our movement.
And it's also Susie Wiles and Pam Bondi's movement.
Yeah.
Because they're doing it. They're the ones that are actually doing it. And Cash Patel and Pete Hegseth and RFK Jr. and Doug Burgum and everybody those beautiful people. I swear, man, I'm like, yesterday, whenever I had to like leave a little bit early, I'm like, man, I'm almost like crying looking at what I'm watching happen right there. You want to talk about transparency in government? That is unprecedented transparency in government that you are seeing right there. And I would challenge any of you to disagree with anything that any of those people said about the direction that they're planning on taking us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think you can disagree with them.
No, you can't. But yeah, so I mean, this is just actually crazy. Donald J. Trump, on a good news, brighter note, congratulations, Cracker Barrel, on changing your logo back to what it was. All of your fans very much appreciate it. Good luck into the future. Make lots of money. And most importantly, make your customers happy again.
Yeah. Serve your customer. What a concept.
Wow. Whew, okay, so that's that. That was amazing. I mean, make your customers happy again. I mean,
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did Donald Trump unblock you?
No.
Okay, I saw that you reposted the video earlier. I was like, wow, did he unblock it? He unblocked me like about 3 months ago.
And just FYI, everybody, Donald Trumpo is not Donald Trump.
That is true. That is not Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, I've met him, okay? He wouldn't block me on X, okay, or True Social, all right? Let me just give you that. There's a lot of people trying to set this little psyop that guy, yes, Donald Trumpo, is Donald Trump. It's not. But... And Jeff, he does post funny videos every now and again. And I think it's because he stole one of my memes a long time ago, and that's why he blocked me. I think that's why.
Yeah, that was just weird. I just saw that you had that so you could see his posts now. I didn't know if he.
Yeah, you can see them. You remember, you just unblock. You just look at posts, but you can't reply or anything.
Got it.
Yep. And we can do anything else like that, you know. So yeah. Wow.
No, that was the whole Cracker Barrel thing is absolutely hysterical. And there's connections, by the way, to Kirkland Ellis with this. Like the company, like this new person that's up there that are coming up with these dumb ideas. Or they have some subsidiaries connected to Kirkland and Ellis law firm. So imagine that. I mean, you know, it's we're the conspiracy people because we see connections that nobody else could possibly see. I guess.
Who is Poppy then? Ask him. I mean,
he's nobody.
He's Trump, okay? There you go. Yay! Are you happy?
Not Donald Trump.
It's not Donald Trump, but you can think it is. That's fine. But I know it's a psychological operation. Do I think he posts funny memes? Do I like the ones when he makes fake posts of Donald Trump? No, I don't like that. There's certain things I don't like, okay? There's certain things I do like, and there's certain things I don't like, and he's not Donald Trump.
That's a true statement.
People are acting like, you know, he's out there doing all these deals and he has this time to make all these memes and be Poppy Trumpo or Donald Trumpo. Come on.
And they try that was the
and if you don't like it, whatever. I'm sorry. Truth is belligerent. It really is.
I know it is. It's okay.
Oh my God.
We get away with it sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, you know, just, you know, ask these people. Be courageous enough to ask. You ask them.
They don't answer. A lot of times they get upset whenever you ask questions.
Yeah, they block you.
Yeah, that's why I was like weird. I was like, it unblocked me for some reason. I was confused.
Yeah. Donald Trump says, I am pleased to report that I've raised since the great presidential election of 2024 in various forms and political entities in excess of $1.5 billion. Make America great again, DJT. President DJT.
It's amazing. Think about it, the winning that's behind us is a very small increment of the amount of winning that is ahead of us. Yeah. It's whenever you do good things begat other good things, and then the next thing you know, you're in like a whole world where like everything that's happening is like functionally like somebody made the post yesterday. Oh my God, it was Sparky or Cue Ball. The government's working for me.
I know
something's benefiting me. How is this even possible? I feel like I'm in a cartoon.
I know. I mean, I just had an epiphany. It looks like the government is actually working together and working for me. Yeah. Wow. Major IP says, I'm good, Jeff. You opened my eyes on some things. No, you're good, bro. I mean, you know, we can agree to disagree. If you want to think that it's Donald Trump, I'm not going to stop you. But I don't think it is. You know, actually, I kind of know it isn't. But that's neither here nor there. All right. So what else, Shady?
I think I'm going to bail on you. Yeah. I want to get out of here.
Less than half day, Shady.
Less than half day, Shady. I told you I wasn't going to make it a half day, but I made it more than 25%.
All right. And before you go, will you
love me anyway?
Let's just say one more prayer for James. You see nothing. Okay, guys. And I do love you. And I love all of you. Shady, good luck today.
Thank you.
Stay straight, okay?
I sure will, and I'll let everybody know what he means by that later, and it's not what you think.
He's going to his own individual counseling, okay?
It's a mess up here.
He's that bad. You thought it was just me.
Yeah, right.
No, Shady, good luck. We love you, and we'll see you guys later.
All
right. Let's see. Where are we going with this? Let me go to this because I want to play the full segment. I just showed you the segment of Donald Trump talking about, you know, with the Q proof right here, with the traps set, okay, right there. But let's go ahead and go to the full Jesse B. Waters interview, who follows me, by the way, and says, Matrix, that guy? I love that guy. Well, I love you too. And we're going to watch that whole thing really quick because it is good. This is about your president, Donald J. Trump, taking the country back for you, guys, okay? Not for the military-industrial complex, not for anybody else, you. And God bless Donald Trump. Here we go. Check it out.
3 hours and 17 minutes. It was Trump's longest public event as president ever. Not even Bill Clinton could last that long. But Trump's more impressed by the guys holding the boom.
I can't believe it. You're not tired holding that?
I have a few more questions.
How strong are you? How strong are you? Look at him. He's been holding that thing for 3 hours. You're a good fisherman.
The guy guzzles Diet Cokes and then does over 3 hours without using the John. Gutfeld can't even make it through the 5. He takes a bathroom break at the bottom of every hour. Trump's a camel. Even his bladder's better than Biden's.
You have not had this happen for 4 years. You sat and you'd ask one question to Biden, and it was always the ice cream question, right? What flavor ice cream do you like best? I like vanilla. And that was the end of the conference.
Biden couldn't even stay awake for 3 hours. The meeting went on for so long, Duffy got caught taking off his shoes. For the first time in his life, Kennedy skipped a workout.
The Pete and Bobby Challenge. It's 100 push-ups, 50 pull-ups, and you try to do it within 10 minutes. I got 5 minutes and 48 seconds. Pete beat me. I'm still bitter at that. 5 minutes and 25. The cabinet leader is Scott Turner. 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm waiting for reports from the rest of the cabinet. The only exemptions currently existing is if you can hit a 50 at Bedminster, which President Trump did.
The cabinet meeting was longer than the Titanic. At one point, Rubio was like, I got to get back to work.
You were elected as the president of working Americans, and that's why this Labor Day is so meaningful. For me personally, this is the most meaningful Labor Day of my life as someone with 4 jobs. And so...
At one point, after they'd covered everything, they didn't have anything to say. So they just started teasing Schumer.
Poor stupid Chuck Schumer, the guy. He looks like he's aged 100 years. And I don't like getting into looks. You know, looks don't mean anything, right? When you're in politics, looks don't matter. I look at Pam, I would never say she's beautiful because that'd be the end of my political career.
When he was shooting The Apprentice, board meetings, they went for hours, so this was a breeze. Axios calls him the chairman of all boards. 45, 47, commander-in-chief, mayor of Washington, president of Europe, daddy, and now chairman of America. A man of many hats and a man of many wins.
Domestic steel production is up by 100,000 tons of steels a week. Ford, that just announced it's going to create 4,000 new jobs, American jobs. Hyundai, 14,000 jobs. General Motors is moving production of the Chevy Blazer and Equinox from Mexico back to the United States where it belongs. They're building big, modern, beautiful auto plants. But think of that. We're up 18,000 cars a month. I hope this table gets a lot of the credit for what's happening.
And while Trump's building Alligator Alcatraz, the Speedway Slammer, and the Cornhusker Clink, Zuckerberg's using his Zuckerbucks to build us AI plants the size of Manhattan.
This is something given to me by Mark Zuckerberg. And you'll see this is AI now. So this is one he's building in Louisiana. Look at that. That's the size of Manhattan. So that's superimposed over the island of Manhattan. It takes up a big part of Manhattan. I think they say 81% of Manhattan. So these are big things.
Companies are breaking ground on the Trump boom, and the tariffs are balancing the budget.
The Treasury Department is taking in record tariff revenues that I had been saying was running at a rate of $300 billion a year. You chastised me for saying that it's not, that number is too low. And as usual, you're right. I think we could be on our way well over $500 billion, maybe towards the $1 trillion number.
Tariff stimmy checks on the way, courtesy of DJT. You take that stimmy and you sign up for Fox One. You can stream Waters and Tom Brady. And today, there was big marriage news. And I'm not talking about Swift and Kelsey. Trade deals are getting married to peace deals. And Trump's lead negotiator used the N-word.
We are negotiating multiple entries into the Abraham Peace Accords because of your vision. There's only one thing I wish for, that noble committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the Nobel Peace, this Nobel Award was ever talked about, to receive that award.
The Speaker of the House says, forget the Nobel for world peace. Trump deserves it for what he's doing in D.C. 12 straight days without a murder. 5 years ago, reporters were calling the president an insurrectionist. But now they're just grateful they're not getting pistol whipped.
In broad daylight, I was on my way to work, and a young man with a black ski mask pointed a gun at my face and threatened me to hand over my phone, my wallet, my laptop, and everything else. And when I refused, he used the butt of his handgun to strike me across the face, in the cheek, or what some people call pistol whip me, before running away. And that has deeply traumatized myself and my family. Ever since, I've never dared to walk in the street of DC at night ever, and my family was extremely worried. So, Mr. President, thank you so much.
I just got a X authentication code. Somebody's trying to break into my X. Interesting.
For what you're doing right
Thank
now,
you, for being honest.
DC's so safe, the Guard doesn't have any criminals left to chase. They're picking up litter, cleaning up the park so Stephen Miller can take his wife on a romantic stroll under the moonlight. And if you take a life, you're getting the chair.
Anybody murders something in the Capitol, capital punishment, capital punishment. If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty. And that's a very strong preventative.
Capital punishment in the Capitol. Over half the United States have the death penalty. And presidents have used the National Guard to fight crime, illegals, stop riots, desegregate. Heck, we mobilized the Guard for a virus. Trump has every right to use the Guard to stop black gangs from killing. But Democrats call it fascism.
I think Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and Trump's handlers thought that he would conduct some kind of Mussolini-style military march across the country, subduing all the local populations, but it's completely backfiring on them.
Backfiring how? There were no murders in 12 days. It's a record. How's that backfiring? Trump says, if that makes me Mussolini, I'm here for it.
The line is that I'm a dictator, but I stop crime. So a lot of people say, you know, if that's the case, I'd rather have a dictator. But I'm not a dictator. I just know how to stop crime.
The left says crime's not that bad, and there's nothing they can do about it. And anyone who tries to do anything about it, Trump, must be a dictator, because anyone who can stop crime is too powerful. Democrats know they have the power to stop crime, but they don't have the will. They're calling Trump a dictator in Chicago. No, they're not. The Windy City's begging for the Guard.
I've lost an uncle to Chicago crime. I've lost 2 first cousins to Chicago crime. I've lost distant family members, friends, neighbors. And what they want us to do is find comfort in this chaos and normalize this trauma. And we're not doing it anymore. We need our president to come here right now and do a forensic audit to find out who's getting paid and who's benefiting from this crime, because right now we're grieving.
P. Ray's onto something. Chicago is the main distribution hub on the heroin highway. And the homicides on the south side are directly connected to the street gangs that traffic the drug. Where are those profits going?
We want to get this cartel out of here. We know that the heroin highway runs directly through the west side of Chicago, and they are trafficking $2 billion worth of heroin a year out of our community. Imagine what that looks like, America. That looks like overdosing. That looks like violence. That looks like people leaning. That looks like people rocking. That looks like people dying. We don't want to live like this.
The narcotics run from Mexico up through Texas and north up the interstate into Chicago, where the customers are, where the trucks can take it east or west and the boats can take it across the Great Lakes. Do you think drug money's paying off politicians? You think the politicians are being paid to keep a light footprint on the south side so the drug cartels can keep their money up? 600 murders a year is the cost of doing business. JB Back can stop it. All he has to do is pick up the phone.
I would have much more respect for Pritzker if he'd call me up and say, I have a problem. Can you help me fix it? I would be so happy to do it. I don't love, not that I don't have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the president of the United States. If I think our country's in danger, and it is in danger in these cities, I can do it.
JB Back wants an award because murders went from 900 a year, 30-year high, to 600 a year. Chicago's still got double the murder rate of LA. There's neighborhoods in Chicago that are more dangerous than Iraq. But JB Beck thinks he's got it all under control.
We're very pleased about the progress that we're making. I know that I live rent-free in the president's head, and I wish he would spend some time in Chicago so that he could see what a lovely city we have.
6 people were killed in Chicago this past weekend and 27 shot. And Ribs is pleased with his progress. We could use some more progress, and we could use some more backup. But the mayor says no mas.
Do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
okay,
I'm not saying that
that's not the question I asked.
Mayor Johnson's going to fight crime by building more housing projects? When Bill de Blasio says get it together, get it together.
I think the Democratic Party has to look at this issue much more honestly and say, hey, there are some places where we should be doing better. Our leaders should be doing better.
The problem is Democrats can't see past the politics. They think Trump's laying a trap for them by fighting crime. But the president's not laying a trap. He's just doing the right thing. Democrats should try that sometime. And the media is not helping. Here they are. If it wasn't clear then, it is now. The White House's public safety play is a deliberate ploy, one that's already backing Democrats into a corner. See, the media's got all their minds messed up. This is what Trump was elected to do. It's not a ploy, it's a mandate. The whole framing's ridiculous.
The new box that they've fallen into is crime. There was a consultant on one of the shows this morning I was watching. I thought he was very good. He's a Democrat consultant. And he was screaming, no, don't let him do this to you. It's another trap. It's another trap. This guy's screaming, it's another trap. And this is the worst of all. He said, because this is crime. Trump is saying he's against crime and they're for crime.
Over 90% of the shooting victims in D.C. are black. Trump believes Black Lives Matter. Do Democrats? And Black Americans want safe neighborhoods. And the safer they get under Trump, the more blacks vote Republican. Just like when he secured the border. Trump won more Hispanic votes. So if Democrats want to avoid the trap and take the issue off the table, join up with Trump. Bring in the guard. Make the streets safe. It's not a trap. It's an invitation. Do what Trump did in 2016. Don't listen to the party. Listen to the people. Where'd that get him? Well, he won the White House twice. Maybe 3 times.
Maybe 3 times. Now, you heard him say, set the trap, walk through the door. Even Jesse said it at the end. It's almost like Jesse knows about Q, isn't it? That's pretty interesting. Thank you guys very much for joining us today. In the next hour, we're going to go through the George Soros posts because I'm sure Q never talked about George Soros, right, guys? Yes, he did. But I want to let you know that this is the greatest cabinet of all time. You notice the difference between this picture and the first picture with all the military generals? Okay. This is the greatest cabinet of all time right here. And oh, by the way, it kind of looks like you have a Q here. Very interesting. Hat tip, what? Very interesting. That is a clean house is very important. Look at how nice and clean that house looks right now, guys. Isn't that amazing? That's what I voted for right there. Even Pam Bondi, okay? Ivan Ranklin. These people are freaking out. All the way, also, by the way, Republicans ban in-mail voting. President Donald J. Trump, which is going through a couple of his posts. Crime numbers are way down in D.C. Amazing progress being made. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President DJT. Also, Speaker Mike Johnson and Leader John Thune are working with me and other Republicans on a comprehensive crime bill. It is what our country needs. There's a misspelling there. Do you guys catch it? And now, more to follow. Make America Great Again. Also, I'm pleased to report that I've raised... Okay, we already did that one. But then I love this one. Let's check this out. This is my favorite group, by the way. And Yeti, it's his too.
They found a way to kill me yet.
felt then and believe even more so now that my life was saved for a reason.
Iran's nuclear ambitions, they are officially dead.
President Trump took the most unsecured border we've ever seen and secured it in 7 weeks.
President Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed in the House. It is going to be a colossal help to the American people.
I believe I was saved by God to make America great again.
Yeah. You ain't found a way to kill me yet. We'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spilty, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do it, Q.
We're going to keep the electricity coming. You know, in China, they do it very quickly. They have one person that says, do it, and that's it. But essentially, we have one person that says, do it, and we've given that order and the job they've done.
Wow, guys. So That is the clean house. It's very important. Thank you, What for that video. I'm going to go ahead and link it in here as well. Yeah, baby. All right, here you go. Coming in for you guys live at chat. Go ahead and give that a repost or a like, or just tell what that MG Show sent you. Okay. Thank you guys very much. And we did do it, guys. We got Cracker Barrel, back to the old logo with a lot of pressure from you guys, the American people. Very amazing. And that's what Cracker Barrel is. It's a tradition, right? So we're going to go with that. So George Soros, guys, let's go back to George Soros because we're talking about RICO. And by the way, think 470 is a Q post, okay? 470 in the Paysur court cases is RICO. Okay, think 470. Think 470, think RICO. And here we go. We've got RICO for George Soros, guys. Pretty amazing. It's just, remember the shoot for the bullet and the $45. What was that, $47? I can't remember. Yep, $47. I remember that. And you guys are just, we're going to go ahead and make sure you're following at In the Matrix with 3 X's on X and everybody else there as well. There you go, Red Pill Pusher. I went ahead and posted yours as well. Thank you. But this is the common theme. What is the common theme? When bad news is about ready to break for them. In less than an hour and a half, President Trump posted about George Soros and his son. Be careful. We're watching you. There's a shooter reported in Minneapolis, right? We already went through that at that Catholic church with reports of 20 or more people being shot. And that's pretty crazy. Prayers, obviously. We got the article 1001. But I'm sure Q never posted about George Soros. Well, guess what, guys? It's time to look at the George Soros posts because that is what we do, guys. Let's start with the first one. The first post about Soros was post 2. Okay, Mockingbird, HRC detained, but not arrested yet. Where is Huma? Follow Huma. Huma is now with Alex Soros, right? This has nothing to do with Russia yet. Why does POTUS surround himself with generals? What is military intelligence? Now you notice that's a good question. Why does POTUS surround himself with generals? Now in this post with the people in the Oval Office, what storm you'll find out, right? He had the military sitting next to him. This is the clean house with regular people, Pam Bondi and the whole cabinet. What is military intelligence? Why go around the 3-letter agencies? What Supreme Court case allows for the use of military intelligence versus congressional assembled and approved agencies? Who has the ultimate authority over our branches of military without approval conditions unless 90 plus in wartime conditions? What is military code? Where is AW being held and why? POTUS will not go on TV to address the nation. POTUS must isolate himself to prevent negative optics. POTUS knew removing criminal rogue elements at first step was essential to free and pass legislation. Who has access to everything classified? Do you believe Hillary, Rodham, Clinton, Soros, Obama, etc. have more power than Trump? Fantasy. Who controls the office of the presidency? Whoever controls the office of the presidency controls this great land. They never believed for a moment Democrats and Republicans would lose control. This is not a Republican versus Democrat battle. Why did Soros donate all his money recently? Why would he place all of his funds in a RC, a charity, right? Mockingbird, 10/30/17. God bless fellow patriots. Q post 4. Some of us come here to drop crumbs, just crumbs. POTUS is 100% insulated. Any discussion suggesting he's even a target is false. POTUS will not be addressing nation on any of these issues as people begin to be indicted and must remain neutral for pure optical reasons. To suggest this is the plan is false and should be common sense. Focus on military intelligence, state secrets, and why might that be used versus any 3-letter agency, okay? Do you understand that? This could not be good. They are using military intelligence against Trump? Is that what this implies now, guys? Just asking. What Supreme Court decision opened the door for a sitting president to activate what must be showed? Why is POTUS surrounded by generals? Again, there's a lot more good people than bad, so have faith. This was a hostile takeover from an evil, corrupt network of players, not just Democrats. Don't fool yourself into thinking Obama, Soros, Rothschilds, Clintons, etc. have more power present day than the President of the United States. Operation Mockingbird. Patriots are in control. Sit back and enjoy the show. Again, Q Post 5. Okay, these are all posts from 2017, 1028, 1029, and a couple from 1029. Follow the money. It's the key. What is Pelosi's net worth by way of one example? Why, coincidentally, is her memory apparently going? Cover for possible future indictment to plead what? What if John McCain, we don't say his name, never had surgery? And that was a cover for a future out if needed against prosecution. Why did Soros transfer a bulk of his public funds into a nonprofit? Note, this doesn't include massive slush funds that are pulled by several high-ups. Why did Soros' son have several meetings with Canadian PM? And how is it related to the Clintons? Can you rely on being able to board a plane and fly away? Why is MS-13 a priority? Nobody got this. And they're protecting MS-13 and Tren de Agua and all the illegal aliens. People could pay such gangs to kill opponents, and why? How to insulate against exposure? The truth is mind-blowing and cannot be fully exposed. Also, many are thinking from one point of view, U.S. only. This evil is embedded globally. U.S. is the first domino. Have faith. Q Post 6, very same day, 10/29/2017. Some of us come here to drop crumbs, okay? And Q responds to that. Actually, let me just, it's the same. It's almost the same post. Whoever controls. Let's see. Okay, so some of us come here to drop crumbs, just crumbs. POTUS is 100% insulated. Any discussion suggesting he's even a target is false. Follow Huma tomorrow. POTUS will not be addressing nation on any of these issues as people begin to be indicted and must remain neutral for pure optical reasons, To suggest that this is the plan is false and should be common sense. Focus on military intelligence, state secrets, and why might that be used versus any three-letter agency. What Supreme Court decision opened the door for a sitting president to activate what must be showed? Why is POTUS surrounded by generals? Again, there's a lot more good people than bad, so have faith. This was a hostile takeover from an evil, corrupt network of players, not just Democrats. Don't fool yourself, guys, into thinking Obama, Soros, Rothschild, Clinton, etc. have more power present day than POTUS. Follow the money. It's the key. So I think this is right here, this is both of them together, basically, guys, okay? Then Q Post 14, skiff, military intelligence. This is George Washington crossing the Delaware, okay, on 10/31. I remember this day. What is state secrets and how upheld in the Supreme Court? What must be completed to engage military intelligence over other three-letter agencies? Is this the FISA court, guys? You see what I'm saying, guys? What is it? What must occur to allow for civilian trials? Why is this relevant? What was Flynn's background? Military intelligence, guys, okay? Why is this relevant? Why did Admiral R, NSA, meet Trump privately without authorization? We are now finding out that Admiral Rogers did not warn Trump, guys, okay? It was just reported yesterday by Shady Groove on his X. Does POTUS know where the bodies are buried? Does POTUS have the goods on most bad actors? Was Trump asked to run for president? Why? By who? Was HRC next in line? Was the election supposed to be rigged? Did good people prevent the rigging? Why did POTUS form a panel to investigate? Why did POTUS form a panel to investigate? Has POTUS ever made a statement that did not become proven as true fact? What is POTUS in control of? What's the one organization left that isn't corrupt? Why does the military play such a vital role? Why does POTUS surrounded by highly respected generals? Who guards former presidents? Why is this relevant? Who guards HRC? Why is Antifa allowed to operate? Why hasn't the Muslim Brotherhood been classified as a terrorist organization? What happens if Soros-funded operations get violent and engage in domestic terrorism? Okay, RICO, right? Here we go. This is Soros. What happens if mayors, police, commissioners, chiefs do not enforce the law? What authority does POTUS have specifically over the Marines? Why is this important? What is Mueller's background? Military? He was a Marine. Was Trump asked to run for president with assurances made to prevent tampering? How is POTUS always 5 steps ahead? Who is helping POTUS? Interesting. Q Post 15. 1031-17 also mentions Soros. There are more good people than bad. The wizards and warlocks, inside term, will not allow another satanic evil POS control our country. Realize Soros, Clinton's, Obama, Putin, etc. are all controlled by 3 families. The 4th was removed post-Trump victory. 11.3, Podesta indicted. 11.6, Huma indicted. Manafort was placed in the Trump's camp as well as others. The corruption that will come out is so serious that deals must be cut for people to walk away. Otherwise, 70% of the elected politicians will be in jail. You are seeing it already begin, Bolton. A deep cleaning is occurring, and a prevention and defense of pure evil is occurring on a daily basis. They never thought they were going to lose control of the presidency, not just Democrats, and thought they had control since making past mistakes. JFK and Reagan. Good speed, patriots. P.S. Soros is targeted. I mean, wow, guys. Soros is targeted. And now you saw the president, Donald J. Trump, just put a target on Soros's back with a RICO claim, guys. Okay, think 470. And by the way, real quick, I just want to get this done real quick. Yeti, here we go. Me. All right. You guys love this. I love that you love this. Set your clocks, mark your calendars, and buckle up, buttercups, for the best NFL prime football action. Starting September 4th on Westwood One, you can catch all the bone-crushing hits, last-second heroics, and edge-of-your-seat action that the NFL Thursday, Saturday, and Monday nights have to offer. Whether you're tailgating, driving, or chilling at home, don't miss a single snap. Listen on the NFL app, the Westwood One Sports app at westwoodonesports.com, or just say ALEXA. Open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One. Thank you very much. All right, so let's go back to our posts here because, there are many about Soros. There's 39 of them. We're on post 36, 11/2/2017. Military intelligence? No media, no leaks. How many military intelligence generals have been in and out of the White House in the past 30 days? Focus on Flynn, background and potential role. Okay, his potential role was going to be the national security advisor for Donald J. Trump. Okay, his background is military intelligence. Why have military intelligence generals been in and out of the White House in the past 30 days? Focus on Flynn. So Flynn was in the in the office, in his corner office, according to General Keith Kellogg, saying that Flynn met with the FBI with no lawyer. Focus on Flynn, background and potential role. What is the common denominator in terms of military background close to POTUS? Why did Soros transfer the bulk of his public funds to a nonprofit organization? Why is this relevant? Who owes a lot to very bad actors? How can she repay as payment was made under promise of victory? What cash payments occurred by Barack Obama during the last 90 days of his presidency to foreign states and or organizations? Now, remember, what did Biden do? He made an NPA slush fund go to a nonprofit organization, right? You've been hearing Duffy talk about that, right? What slush fund did AG Sessions through DOJ put an end to? How does Soros, Obama, Clinton, Holder, Lynch, etc., all net many millions of dollars, normally within a single tax year? What was negotiated on the tarmac between Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch? She was going to become the Supreme Court Justice. Remember, it was expected Hillary Rodham Clinton was going to win during this period of time. What if the wizards and warlocks tipped off a local reporter as to the supposed unscheduled stop? What if the NSA, under the personal direction of Admiral R, had this meeting miscategorized and logged under a false identity to prevent bad actors from locating, while also verifying to said players all was clear, no logs, okay? Brennan, Flynn, Clapper, Admiral Rogers all met Trump at Trump Tower, guys. Okay? What really happened when the wizards and warlocks revealed what they had? Was Comey forced into spotlight shortly thereafter, not by choice? Right before the election, no doubt, which would cast suspicion? These are crumbs, and you cannot imagine the full and complete picture. If Trump failed, we failed. And Hillary Rodham Clinton assumed control, we as patriots were prepared to do the unthinkable. This was leaked internally and kept the delegate recount scam and Barack Obama from declaring fraud. Dig deeper, missing critical points to paint the full picture. There simply is no other way than to use the military. It's that corrupt and dirty. Okay? There is no other way than to use the military. For what? Good or for bad? It's that corrupt and dirty. Please be safe. Pray for those in harm's way as they continue to protect and serve our great country. Okay, then we go back to that and we go 67. 11/3/2017. Where's John Podesta? Where's Tony Podesta? Did one or both escape the country and was let out? Where's Barack Obama? Where was Barack Obama yesterday? What's the difference between commercial and private regarding security clearance for departure? Who is the TSA head? Which party did he contribute to? What is of particular interest when researching? How does HHS interact with TSA, that's Homeland Security? What updated post 9/11 protocols were put in place to prevent, stop inbound, outbound sea level targets? What local airports are in close proximity to DC? What happened shortly after 9/11, specifically with all aircraft? Who was authorized to depart? Only one. Oh. Who was that? Bin Laden? Family, right? Only one plane was authorized during this mandatory forced grounding. Who specifically authorized this? Mueller. What airport did the departure take place at? Why is this relevant? How does it tie together? Podesta's plane has military escort, i.e. tag, and is being diverted, forced down, short delay? This will be leaked. Watch the news. Have faith. What fake news anchor will not be on the air tonight? Why is this relevant? What was stated in the past? Where did the $18 billion from Soros go? Why? Can it be used by bad actors, escape bribes, rogue contractors, etc.? Slush fund? Did the U.S. government seize, stop, track other slush funds that prevent or create risk to operate? Why did John Kerry travel to Saudi Arabia recently? What is Saudi Arabia known for? Where do the biggest donations originate from? Why is this relevant? What else is relevant with Saudi Arabia? Safe harbor? Port of transfer? Why was there a recent smear campaign against John Kerry and POTUS? Why is the timing important? Or this could be Jared Kushner. Okay. Why is the timing important? Who released the article? The Council of Wizards and Warlocks cannot be defeated. Nice view up here. Q Post 94. On 11/5/2017. Read my other threads. This was why the graphics are so important. Barack Obama paid the debt prior to leaving office. HRC is not currently in Saudi Arabia. Bill wants a deal. Playing the former president card. Watch the cookie quickly crumble. Where does Soros fit in? Godfather 3. Q-Post 99, 11/5/17. U.S. assets, location. Who was arrested in Saudi Arabia? Defined background. Huma, H-U-M-A. Foundations, institutes, Soros. Who was killed in Saudi Arabia? Who fired? Who really fired? Why would we fire? Follow the money. Who pulls the strings? Strings detached. Open season on puppets. Who are the puppets? Where are the puppets? Global, MSM, Mockingbird, secret agents, A, Cooper, family background. Right? Vanderbilt. Anderson Cooper is a Vanderbilt. Former spook, CIA. Why is this relevant? Q. 1/11/5/2017. We're going to keep going because this is important to read, guys. Again, important context. What have you learned about Huma? What organization is Huma? And this is the Harvard University Muslim Association. Which U.S. president is affiliated with Harvard University Muslim Association? Barack Hussein Obama. Why is this relevant? What years did this occur? Who funded on behalf of this president? Alawid from Saudi Arabia. Why is this relevant? What years did this occur? What just happened in Saudi Arabia? Who was arrested? Funds frozen. Why would this former president be funded pre-political days? Repeat, important. Why would this former president be funded pre-political days? Why is the relevance? Was the Muslim Brotherhood affiliated to any of these organizations or people? Fast forward, why are the events in Saudi Arabia so important? Why was JK in Saudi Arabia recently? Why was POTUS's last tweet regarding Saudi Arabia prior to the happening? Why was POTUS's Twitter taken down days before under cover of rogue employee? Refocus again. Who was arrested in Saudi Arabia? Any ownership stakes in U.S. companies? Yes, Twitter was one of them. Why is this relevant? Twitter, Las Vegas. Recent events. Why would investment be made in former president pre-political days? What years did this occur? What faith does Huma represent? Muslim Brotherhood. What faith does the Muslim Brotherhood represent? What faith does Huma, Aberdeen, represent? Who are the bad actors? Who funds the majority of the senior politicians? Fantasyland. What former president of the United States groomed to be commander-in-chief? Was the former U.S. President Barack Hussein Obama groomed to be the commander-in-chief? Is this possible? Is the U.S. political election system corrupt? Who owns poll machines? Soros? Why is this relevant? They never thought she would lose. Fantasyland. The complete picture would put 99% of Americans, the world, in a hospital. POTUS is our savior. Pray. Operators are active. We are at war. Good night, Barack Obama. Snow White, Godfather 3, Q. Hard to swallow. Important to progress on 11/11/2017. Who are the puppet masters? House of Saudi Arabia, 6 plus. 4 trillion plus. Rothschild, 6 plus. 2 trillion plus Soros, 6 plus. 1 trillion plus. Focus on above, 3. Public wealth disclosures, false. Many governments of the world who feed the eye. Think slush funds, feeder. Think war, feeder. Think environmental pacts, feeder. Triangle has 3 sides. Eye of providence, follow the bloodlines. What other Anons actually followed the bloodlines? None? What is the keystone? Does Satan exist? Does the thought of Satan exist? Who worships Satan? We have a picture of Chelsea Clinton wearing an upside-down cross, and she also wished Merry Christmas to the Church of Satan. What is a cult? Epstein Island. What is a temple? What occurs in a temple? Worship? Why is the temple on the top of a mountain? How many levels might exist below? What is the significance of the colors, design, and symbol above the dome? Why is this relevant? Who are the puppet masters? Have the puppet masters traveled to this island? When? How often? Why? Vladimir Putin, the New World Order worships Satan. Q. Wow. How did Soros, this is 11/12/2017, Q post 142. How did Soros replace family Y? Who is family Y? Trace the bloodlines of these 3 families. What happened during World War II? Was Hitler a puppet? Who was his handler? What was the purpose? He was allegedly he was a child of somebody that worked at the Rothschild residence. His mother, a maid, got impregnated by a Rothschild, allegedly, right? What was the real purpose of the war? What age was George Soros? What is the Soros family history? Well, George Soros helped the Nazis, and he was Jewish. What has occurred since the fall of North Germany? Who is Angela Merkel? What is Angela Merkel's family history? Follow the bloodline. Who died on the Titanic? What year did the Titanic sink? Why is this relevant? Do you know that there is a Podesta on the Titanic list? Pretty interesting. Why is this relevant? What exactly happened to the Titanic? What class of people were guaranteed a lifeboat? Why did select individuals not make it into the lifeboats? Why is this relevant? How do you know who was on the lifeboats, D or A? How were names and bodies recorded back then? When were tickets purchased for her maiden voyage? Who was specifically invited? Less than 10. What is the Fed, Federal Reserve? What does the Fed control? Who controls the Fed? You guys know who controls the Fed. Who approved the formation of the Fed? Why did Hollywood glorify Titanic as a tragic love story? Who lived in the movie? What man? Why is this relevant? Opposite is true. What is brainwashing? What is a psyop? What happened to the Hindenburg? What really happened to the Hindenburg? Who died during the accident? Why is this relevant? What are sheep? Who controls the narrative? The truth would put 99% of the people in the hospital. It must be controlled. Snow White, Iron Eagle, Jason Bourne, CIA, Dream, Q. And this one, Soros sells Twitter, Facebook, Apple, and Snap. 3 exclamation points. 189, identify symbolism, owl and Y. So the Y is looking at a 3-sided pyramid from the top. Do you see that, guys? If you push it down, that's what it looks like. Which performers, celebs, supported Hillary Rodham Clinton during the election? Who performed during her rallies? What jewelry and or tattoos present? What other events did they attend together? What does HRC represent to them? What celebrities have owl, Y, head symbols? What politicians have owl, Y, head symbols? What powerful people have owl, Y, head symbols? What powerful groups have owl, Y, head symbols? Why are they worn or shown openly? Their need for symbolism will be their downfall. MSM role, push conspiracy theory. Social media role, push conspiracy theory and institute new rules allowing for ban. Censorship, the graphic is key. Reread graphic. Example, what family did Soros replace? Why? Okay. Rothschilds. Part 3, how were they adopted into the cult as children? What were they provided for obeying and staying silent? Brainwashed. All that you knew to be right is wrong. The cult runs the world. Fantasyland. The world is fighting back and destroying the cult. 20% public, 80% private. The world would otherwise collapse. 40,000 foot view versus again and need to decrease altitude to avoid conspiracy label was necessary. Godfather 3 for God and country. Q. 275, 11, 5, 2017. Plus fly plus. Banks control governments. Governments control people. Saudi Arabia controls elected people. Soros controls organizations of people. Ready to play? Q. I mean, isn't this amazing, guys, to go back and read these things? So here we go. This is P. Remember P equals Pesor? Rothschilds, cult leaders, church, P. The Rothschilds are the cult leaders. The church is owned by the Pesors via the Rothschilds. Banks, financial institutions, worldwide government control. Governments control people. Saudi Arabia. Oil, tech, sex, children. Saudi Arabia controls assigned U.S., UK politicians, tech companies, primary. Soros controls organizations of people. Create division, brainwash, plus management, operator of slush funds, personal net worth never reduces. Think DOJ settlements, consumer, Iran, environmental pacts, etc., etc. Rockefeller passed. Okay, Rockefeller passed. So Soros replaced Rockefeller. I think we answered our own question there. Rockefeller passed off authority over followers. Present, so one triangle was removed. Future, order is critical. Strings cut to US, UK, expand your thinking. Swamp drain. 1, sexual harassment, exit plus future. ... R. No. Bomb away. Q. Could this be renegade? Could that be, just very interesting, right? Q post right here, 329 on 12/11/2017. Weddings, Melissa Schiff, Robert D. Soros. Guys, is Melissa Schiff related to Adam Schiff? What are the chances? Follow the wives. These people are stupid. 389, 12/19/2017. Chuck Schumer, Soros. Chuck Schumer, Playboy. Chuck Schumer, Heidi Fleiss, evil, clown, blackmail, Q. Okay, remember Heidi Fleiss, guys? It's not just Epstein, is it? Fox News article talking about Playboy models among 3 seeking 27, say Soros fund manager raped and beat them. Are we there yet? Are we there yet, E? How about now? Mm-hmm. So what about that? Who else is a Playboy model in our movement? Do you guys know? Let me see the answer. See if you guys can figure it out. 416, 12/21, 2017. Soros takes orders from P. You have no idea how sick and evil these people are. Fight, fight, fight. Day of days. Game over. Q. Wow. And Heidi Fleiss has links to Roger Stone as well. That's correct. 532 MSM Fake News Awards. Are you prepared? Memes and posts, organized and coordinated. POTUS may retweet one or more. Ready for launch? Show the world. Show the world the truth. Open their eyes. Don't let POTUS suffer from Soros loser bots that continually flood. Let's see. I'm just seeing if anybody yep. Philly Bud Mama. Yep. Kate Awakening. That's right, guys. Don't let POTUS suffer from the Soros loser bots that continually flood. And we still are letting them continually flood, guys. Make the Fake News Awards your first organized tweet storm day, making America great again. Q. Here's a picture. George Soros and a Rothschild. Imagine that. Who replaced the Rockefellers? 570. Will Sessions drop the hammer? 1 of 22. Memo shifts narrative. Memo reinstates Sessions' authority regarding Russia. All. Memo factually demonstrates collusion at highest levels. Memo factually demonstrates Hussein administration weaponization intel community to ensure a Democrat victory plus insurance. The memo factually demonstrates knowingly false intel provided to FISA judges to obtain warrants. This is how you get around the 3-letter agencies, guys. Okay? They never thought she would lose. The 16-year plan to destroy America, Hussein 8. Install rogue ops. Leak classified intel military assets. Cut funding to military. Command away from generals. Launch good guy takedown, internal remove. Valerie Jarrett, sniffer. Special access program, sell off. Snowden open source Prism key score. Catastrophic to U.S. military and versus bad actors worldwide, plus the clowns, which is CIA, and NSA, no such agency. Target weakened conservative base, IRS, MSM, open border. So that's what they did. They targeted and weakened us with the IRS and the mainstream media, didn't they? Open border, flood illegals, D's win. ISIS, MS-13, fund, install, fear, targeting, removal, domestic assets, etc. Blind eye, North Korea, nuke build. Class 1, 2, 3. Blind eye, Iran, fund and supply. Blind eye, classified. Stage, special counsel, Adam Schiff, 187. Uranium 1, fund, supply, Iran, North Korea, plus reduce U.S. capacity. Kill NASA, prevent space domination, allow bad actors to take down military satellites worldwide, secure comms, install weapons of mass destructions. Risk of EMP, space origin, helpless. Class 1 through 99. HRC. This is the next 8 years. HRC would have done World War III. Death and weapons, real war, fake and controlled. Population growth, control pockets, billions. Eliminate final rogue ops in government, military. Kill economy, starve, need, enslave. Open borders, revise constitution. Ban sale of firearms. Second Amendment. Removal, install on term Supreme Court justices, legal wins across spectrum of challenges, AS 187, removal of electoral college, popular vote, easier manipulation, illegal votes, Soros machines, limit, remove funding of military, closure of U.S. military installations worldwide, Germany first, destruction of opposing mainstream media, other news outlets censoring, pure evil. Narrative intercept 4 a.m. Sessions, Nunez, Russian ops. Repub distortion of facts to remove Mueller. POTUS free pass. Shut down primary reasons. Distract, weaken military assets, including illegal votes. Black voters abandoned and keep them starved. Keep them blind. Keep them stupid. HRC, March 13th, 2023. Intercept. The Great Awakening. Fight, fight, fight. Q. Wow. I mean, these are just so amazing, guys, to go through. Why did the memo drop on a Friday and before the SB? Did this seem strange to you? Watch the news. Rothschild estate sale, Black Forest. Stock market dive was 666. Coincidence? Soros transfer of wealth, dopey. That's Aloweed. Free. Marriage for power, not love. Hilton, Rothschild, Soros, Clinton, etc. Now you got Soros, Huma, Abedin. News unlocks map. Think mirror. Which term? Which team? They don't know. Apache. These people are evil. Do you still don't believe you are sheep to them? 2020 coming. Public is vital. Release of info vital. Outrage justice. Can we simply arrest the opposition without first exposing the truth? Follow the light. Q. Again, Q post 666 talks about that and responds 666. Signal to POTUS they control the market. Question mark. Signal. Threat. Welcome to the global war. Here we go. This is, I remember this. This is 5/14/2018. Q post 1361. The next time Soros was mentioned, okay, and it was mentioned in coordinated. It was, attacking Q. Coordinated all for a LARP. Attacks will only intensify. Ask yourself why. I've asked myself that many a times. Why? 2398 11/3/2018. The D Party Con, the Democrat Party Con. When you can't raise money organically through party individual donations, voter base, you steal it from the American taxpayer and give it back to yourself in the form of campaign contributions. Example 1, Planned Parenthood. $1.5 billion provided in taxpayer funding over a 3-year period. Case 1, Planned Parenthood spent $30 million. Disclosed real estimates close to $65 million in taxpayer subsidies to influence the outcome of the 2018 midterm elections. Conclusion. Should it be legal for taxpayer D plus R plus I, Democrat, Republican, Independent, funded organization to donate massive amounts of money to the Democrat Party in an effort to sway the election? Democrat insider term T_Washington, I believe. Reread drops regarding Soros and taxpayer funding. Your hard-earned tax dollars at work. Vote, vote, vote. 2502 on 11/25/2018. Border security equals national security. FY 2019 defense spending bill. Budget overview, budget reconciliation. What if the House fails prior to majority change? What vested authority does the Constitution grant a sitting president regarding matters of national security? Thank you, Mr. Soros. Q. 3658 12/7/2019. Where's George Soros? Ukraine? Who else recently traveled to Ukraine? Panic is real. All hands on deck. With a Merriam-Webster.com dictionary with the term evil. Evil. A morally reprehensible, sinful, wicked, arising from actual imputed bad character of conduct, causing discomfort or repulsion, causing harm. Did President Trump just say that Soros was causing harm to America? I believe he did. We saw this one already. This is Soros saying that, in case anybody missed it, it will surprise no one to learn that Soros is the number one funding source behind Shadow. Shadow Inc., the company behind the failed Iowa caucus app, is George Soros. How does Soros communicate secure with DNC leaders? Remember, that was with game comms and Gmail drafts. Dates are important. SWC dropped December 16th to closure. Coincidence? Soros investment in February 14th. Blizzard, that is a game app, guys. Coincidence? Desperate times call for desperate measures. When, why do you expose what you know publicly? Wow, guys. Q post 4153. I'm learning a lot more. It's great to watch this. Are you guys enjoying this? Press 17 if you guys are enjoying the review on the Soros Q posts. Let me just see how many 17s. Let me get mine in there before I go to the next one here. 17. Boom. CrowdStrike testimony regarding DNC and Russia hack. No direct evidence. Manipulation of source. Computer to computer. Transfer. Speed hack. Internal. DL. Terminal 1 speed. Hand-to-hand transfer. WikiLeaks publish versus SR 187. MS-13-2 187 geolocation. MS-13-2 187 date. MS-13-2 case summary notes. Interning for the DNC. Just ask Seth Rich this. Interning for the DNC can be deadly. All witness reports, non-evidence, Russia, POTUS, connect. Dossier, primary vehicle, FISA, special counsel, and impeach. Dossier, discredit prior to known. No name, John McCain. No name, assist, senator, stamp, credible. FBI, floor 7, DNI, President of the United States, presidential daily briefing. 7th floor, no more. FBI floor 7, DNI, CIA, DNC, White House. So that's the DNI, CIA, and White House primary bulk. FBI floor 7, DNC, HRC 4, President, DNI, CIA. White House, FISA 4, upstream collection primary target, POTUS cross 1 through 9. FISA 1, upstream collection primary target C, cross 1 through C. FBI floor 7, DOJ, Loretta Lynch, Bill Clinton, coordinated tarmac, unofficial. HRC discusses exchange, special counsel, Supreme Court. Security detail planning coordinated, DOJ, Loretta Lynch, and Bill Clinton. DOJ, LL, instruct Comey, PR1, drop all charges, MSM. DOJ, Loretta Lynch, instructs language to regarding report, Hillary Rodham Clinton, C, careless. FBI, floor 7, deep cover operatives, crosswalk, CIA, FBI, PS. Peter Strzok. FBI floor 7, assist CIA domestic spy, avoid CIA. See, this is how you avoid the 3-letter agencies. FBI floor 7, assist CIA domestic spy, which is 5 eyes, avoid CIA non-USA charter. FBI floor 7, assist CIA, pull down umbrella, spy, 5-eye, unofficial, 5-eye, UK, Australia, re-verify, authorization, White House, unusual rec, special instruction, FBI floor 7, UK assist, Steele dossier, and Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr, Fusion GPS, Shell 2, FBI floor 7, CIA spy, insert 1 through 3, Australia assist. We've got it all, guys. FBI floor 7, James Baker, Perkins Coy, Shell 2. Shell 2 is the North Fund, right? Markleye's law group. Okay. FBI floor 7, insurance 1 through 4, FISA targets 1 through 4. FBI floor 7, White House POTUS non-target. They're saying that the president is a non-target. FBI floor 7, DOJ, Rod Rosenstein, wear wire, assist, entrap to force. Fail, move to. FBI floor 7, DOJ, push sessions, recuse. FBI floor 7, in the park, discuss. Mueller, POTUS, FBI 2, regain control. FBI floor 7, DOJ, Rod Rosenstein, appoint Mueller, special counsel. DOJ, Rod Rosenstein and Peter Strzok, number 2. Class 1 through 99, scope memo, target FISA 1 through 4, initiate immediate gag order, force comply versus the President of the United States. DOJ, RR, Air Force 1, POTUS, background Soros, Hussein, HRC, MSM control, MSM plus social media, Hollywood, propaganda push, coordinated, established 1 through 7 movements, Antifa, silence, stop, endorse, POTUS, pro. Very interesting. Whew, we're getting there. We're getting to the end here, guys, but this is amazing. Let's just go to this one right here. This is destroying America will be the culmination of my life's work. Nobody escapes this, George Soros. Okay? Shadow presidency, shadow government. Why did Hussein shadow President Trump regarding foreign trips? Why did Kerry shadow POTUS regarding Iran? Why did Kerry shadow POTUS regarding class 1 through 99? Why did McMaster target and remove loyal intel operatives inside White House? Why did McMaster prevent D-class disclosed to Congress? Did they need a way out? Is that why Miss McMaster did that? Because he is rogue, okay? McMaster rogue. Right after Flynn was McMaster. Why did Coates prevent D-class disclosed to Congress? Why did Bolton prevent D-class disclosed to Congress? Why did Ryan prevent subpoena power to Republican Congress? Why did Rosenstein work to entrap and install blockade? Special counsel. Why did Rosenstein install Mueller, knowing zero evidence of Russia collusion? Why did Mueller attempt to retake FBI director position? Why did Mueller Rosenstein drag out special counsel investigation if no Russia collusion plus start? Because they needed, their plants needed water, guys. Okay? Why did select members of NSC Vindman actively leak to MSM, National Security Council? Why did select members of the National Security Council, Vindman, orchestrate fake whistleblower reports with Schiff, Atkinson, class 1 through 99 to sabotage and initiate impeachment? Why did Pelosi rush impeachment investigation? Why did Pelosi then hold impeachment articles until January 15th? They needed COVID to happen, didn't they? Why did Schiff push false Russia evidence narrative post closed door interviews, no evidence of collusion? Why did Schiff coordinate with White House National Security Council through proxy to arrange for Ukraine whistleblower? Why did Schiff actively leak knowingly false statements during post classified sessions, mainstream media? Why did Schiff illegally surveil phones, member of White House legal team, media, and Congress? What Pentagon officials tendered resignation within a 2-week period? Why did Omarosa Magnol Newman attempt to entrap POTUS through secret and illegal recordings? Why did Soros finance anti-POTUS events and organizations across the U.S.? Again, why did George Soros finance anti-POTUS events and organizations across the U.S.? Why did class 1 through 99 organize and push propaganda smear campaign through the use of MSM in Hollywood? Insurgency. Irregular warfare, the greatest political scandal in history. What are they trying to prevent? Who are they trying to protect? Q. Wow. All right, so these are the last couple here, and we'll be done, but there's 10 GS ones as well, because we have a very special place for GS picked out. 1031, 2017, 10 plus 1015, full circle. Why is Antifa allowed to operate? What happens if Soros-funded operations get violent and engage in domestic terrorism? What happens if mayors, police commissioners, chiefs do not enforce the law? Think recent events now today, guys. You have more than you know. Q. And isn't it interesting that the Antifa flag and the Nazi flags look the same? 1933 paramilitary wing of the Communist Party of Germany, anti-fascista action. 2017 paramilitary wing of the Democrat Party of America, anti-fascist action. History repeats itself today regarding irregular warfare, regarding tactics deployed versus America, compare and contrast then versus now. SA, Nazi organization. You guys read all these? Did you guys read all these Q posts, or were we just worried about, other things, right? Heroizing people that don't need to be heroized. Then, methods of violent intimidation deployed by SA. Now, methods of violent intimidation deployed by Antifa. Then, battles raged in the streets, book burning, flag burning, destruction, hate, anti-police, etc. Now, battles raging in the streets controlled by Democrat Party sympathizers, anti-Republic. Then, physical assaults of political opponents. Now, physical assaults of political opponents. In fact, President Trump just reminded you of some assaults on political opponents, Rand Paul. Then, voter intimidation in national and local election. Now, voter intimidation in national and local elections coming 11-3. Then, project anti-fascist platform, reality, conform, obey, strong-arm tactics deployed to silence opposing views. Now, protect anti-fascist platform, reality, conform, obey, strong-arm tactics deployed to silence opposing views. Then, radical anti-capitalistic platform, socialism. Now, radical anti-capitalistic platform, socialism, push. Then, force economic destructions as recruiting division tactic to drive enlistment rate. Now, Democrat Party governors, mayors, close states, force economic hardships, COVID-19. Then, SA carried out unchecked street violence against Jews and Nazi opponents. Now, Democrat governors, mayor carried out unchecked, deliberate, non-prosecution orders, 24-hour release of Antifa rioters arrested, street violence, block by block takeovers. Democrat governors, mayors released violent criminals, many thousands from prisons under the guise of COVID-19. Here it is, encyclopedia, Nazi propaganda. Use of propaganda by Nazi Germany, use of propaganda by MSDNC, social media control narrative, terminate, opposing message, censorship, kill. Soros history, assault on America. Ask yourself why the Democrat Party leaders are refusing to condemn violence. Ask yourself why Democrat Party leaders are refusing to seek a united republic, a unified republic. It was never about the virus and always about the election. Was the Nazi Party ever truly destroyed, eradicated? Did the belief carry on redeploying? Background of Soros?
Most people believe the 20th century was defined by the death struggle of communism versus capitalism, and that fascism was but a hiccup. Today we know better. Communism was a fool's errand. The followers of Marx gone from this earth, but the followers of Hitler abound and thrive. Hitler, however, had one great disadvantage. He lived in a time when fascism, like a virus, like the AIDS virus, needed a strong host in order to spread. Germany was that host, but strong as it was, Germany could not prevail. The world was too big. Fortunately, the world has changed. Global communications, cable TV, the internet. Today the world is smaller. And the virus does not need a strong host in order to spread. This virus is airborne. One more thing. Let no man call us crazy. They called Hitler crazy, but Hitler wasn't crazy. He was stupid. You don't fight Russia and America. You get Russia and America to fight each other. And destroy each other.
Wow. Okay. So that was on that post there. Let me just go to the last one containing Soros, and we did all 39. 4845 10 19 2020. Hillary Clinton. Twitter. Here it is. Did she delete it? Let's see. I want the public to see my email. I asked state to release them. They said they will review them for release as soon as possible. I'd like to see them, wouldn't you? Roger that, Madam Secretary. C equals classified state. Business Insider, Hillary Clinton, FBI report, classified markings. Clinton Foundation plus Soros, journalists, journalist direction, Africa, SAPs, special access program. China, that's Saudi Arabia, special access programs. China, Russia, Uranium One, Hussein, from his direction as well, Obama's direction. Benghazi, Muslim Brotherhood, CIA assets, crimes against humanity, Route Huma, CC Wiener. Wiener back up. Nothing is ever truly deleted. Threats, blackmail, and bribes, guys. That's where we're at. Wow. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I sure did. Before we go as well, I've got this one. I love that you guys love these commercials because the countdown is over. The rivalries are real and the road to the championship begins on August 23rd. Westwood One Sports brings you every electrifying moment of the NCAA football from the first snap to the final whistle. Top teams, big plays. Don't miss a second of the action. Listen to NCAA football on rumble.com, the Westwood One Sports app on westwoodonesports.com via Westwood One Station. Westwood One Station streams or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. If it's sports, it's on Westwood One. Boom. Wow, guys. Embattled Farmer, thank you. Prayers up for You See Nothing right now. That's right. We need to do that. Thank you guys for everything. I want to go out with a special song. Hang on one second. Let me get that. But you guys are amazing. You guys are following the actual drops of Q, just like we have. We've never failed. We've never gone away from them. We are always called booga booga QAnon influencers and all that. We're silenced on all these platforms. Ask yourself why we're even silenced by people in what we consider our own movement. They have you fooled. Why would they silence us? Why do they continually to use Q to do fake decodes? It's amazing, isn't it? And I will never stop, and you shouldn't either. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go all. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Many of you are beginning to awaken to a reality which you never suspected. You're coming out of the fantasy. You are becoming illumined.
I will never give up. I will never run. I will never stop until I find my way to you. I will never give up. I
we're discovering that that illumination can be upsetting. It can also be wonderful. That the real world is much different than the one you knew, and that the burden of the voice that speaks to you from within, as a result of that, is like the thunder and lightning of God. I know the feeling well. And if you're paying attention to it, it's your first vision of God, because visions of God only come with the truth. When you see the truth, you are dealing with God. It's a vision absolutely necessary to all of our future progress if we're going to make any. Without this divine law, there could be no harmony of the soul. And as seekers after oneness with God, we must discover and apply to our own life the laws of His being. You see, it's easier to yield up something once and for all than maintain a daily conflict with ourselves, enforcing upon ourselves obedience in thought, word, and deed to the divine law. The conflict is within you. It always has been. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, a steep ascent, always rugged, mostly lonely, often very dangerous, and at times so very, very difficult as to seem beyond our ability, yet it is the only way. This nation hinges upon the success of those who are climbing.
www.mg.show. Boom.